This is the moment gunshots rang out in Times Square, sending hundreds of people running.
Here, pop, pop, pop. I checked my phone. I see Instagram shots fired near Times Square.
Earthcam video captured the shooter and the chaotic scene at 44th Street and 7th Avenue. People racing.
That's so random. I mean, what are we dealing with nowadays? Are we talking about people who are just out there shooting at random crowds of people? Because, we're going to have to get, of course, some more information, but it didn't seem like he was shooting at anybody in particular. He was just shooting into a crowd. So he has no particular reason to be shooting or anything like that. It's just an act of violence with no meaning. And that's horrible that we keep seeing these situations where there's these acts of violence and there's no real, purposeful reason for them to be doing it. It's just getting out of hand.
Away while NYPD officers rushed in.
People were running into cover for safety.
The shooter can be seen aiming and firing the gun into the crowd before turning to flee the scene, running right into a police officer, barely slowing down before taking off again.
He ran right into the police officer. They bumped into each other. That's crazy.
Scene, running right into a police officer, barely slowing down before taking off again. More police join the foot pursuit. Police say there was some kind of fight,
but he
just
didn't get
after
shot.
3:30 Thursday.
You'll realize that he didn't get shot. Okay? He didn't get shot. We saw him run into a police officer. They obviously knew that he was the one who was shooting because they started chasing after him. And they didn't shoot him in the back. He didn't die. So we know it's possible that there's incidents that people who do horrible crimes can still survive the incident without police shooting them. And I'm just saying that because of the situation over in the Senatobia.
Afternoon, and they took into custody a 17-year-old suspected of firing the shots. Nobody was struck. Police said they recovered the gun. A block to the west at 45th Street and 8th Avenue, a 26-year-old man was slashed. Police are now working to determine if there's some kind of connection. The victim is stable. He was taken to the hospital. And that 17-year-old who is suspected of firing the shots is in custody this morning. Charges against him are pending.
Just really scary and unfortunate. It's happening in our city.
Thankfully, nobody was hit.
Okay, thank you, Aaron.
Yeah, it's just
overseas
it
tonight. A man is
continues to be a horrible situation, guys, that we are dealing with when it comes to people just doing random acts of violence and shooting into crowds and all these other types of incidents. And we now that we know that it was a 17-year-old teen that was taken in custody for this, and we have to continue to talk about the fact that our teenagers are out of control, completely and utterly out of control, and we have to figure out a way to rein them in. But I think if we've reached an impasse where there's nothing we can do, because until they become out of teenagers, they're going to be treated like teenagers depending on the crimes that they're committing. Now, this teenager, he didn't kill anybody. It's not a situation where anybody was shot or anything like that. So, it's highly unlikely that they will, charge him as an adult because nobody was hurt or killed or anything like that. But we have to think about the teen takeovers, the, teens getting together to do a massive smash and grab at certain stores. All these things are taking a major toll on our country, and we have no fix for it. Ultimately, the only fix would be to get the parents involved, because that is the problem. We live in this world where we're seeing so many parents not be able to teach their children correctly, to mold their children correctly, to advise their children correctly, to discipline their children correctly. And it's tenfold. It's not only the child itself, but it's the parents. We have a whole bunch of homes that are single parent homes, and that's a problem. We all understand that, and in mass, that a dual parent home is better for children, better, easier for them to discipline, to teach, to get them kids in the right direction. And we're just seeing a massive amount of children, and I'm not going to sit here and say it's all single parent children or teenagers that are doing these, but We know that a massive amount of them are. And then we have to understand that, with peer pressure, and then of course, children just being menacing, and children themselves is causing all of these problems that we're having. And the worst part about it is that we're seeing people lose their lives. We did a story, of course, yesterday about the teenager that shot the mother over in South Bend when he was trying to steal a watch that he contacted them on Facebook Marketplace to get over there to try to steal this watch. And we're seeing a lot of that. It's just the problem. We're seeing massive amounts of teenagers shooting people, driving recklessly, the teen takeovers, the shooting into crowds in this situation. It's just getting completely and utterly out of hand. And the only thing is that from the beginning, you have to try to hold parents accountable for what their children are doing. So eventually, we're going to have to put in some stipulations that when these children are doing these crimes and committing all these issues, then the parents have to be held accountable. Jail time, fines, whatever the case may be, but somebody has to be held accountable so that we can try our best to stop this. That's the problem. Nobody's being held accountable. Children are being let go no matter what crimes they're doing. They're not spending any massive amount of time in jail. They don't have all the programs that they had to, rein kids in like they did when we were children. And it's just getting worse and worse. Now, mind you, our schools, the only way a school is good is if the children want to be there and they want to learn. The children don't want to be there and want to learn in this day and age. They don't have to go to the school. They'll drop out right away. They just won't show up. Parents won't do nothing about it. It's a horrible epidemic, guys. And the only true way to deal with it is to start with the parents. So, some of you parents are going to start getting fines and going to jail because your children are bad as shit. All right, guys, I'm going to let y'all go and get up out of here. I am Chris Surratt. Thank you for tuning in to another episode of the Car Concierge Show. Please hit the like, share, subscribe button. Hit me in the DMs if you have any questions, and I'm out. Peace.